In today's video, I'm essentially going to be testing out Anne Elizabeth's cozy cocoon method, where essentially she puts down a layer of hard gel on the natural nail and then tops it with a top coat and then puts on a peel off base coat. Or is it just a peel off coat? Well, just a peel off gel. And then it does her normal application on top. Today I'm going to be doing it a bit differently because her method is meant to be done with some full cover tips, but instead of full cover tips, today I was feeling in the mood for some simple, plain nails that were still visually interesting, but didn't require much shaping or filing, aka I don't want to build an apex today, I refuse to do it. So you know what that means? Claw tips. So today we're going to be doing some claw nails. I've done fang nails on this hand and I am absolutely in love with them. They are so fun. If you'll notice, they are short. And you know what? I said that if I ever did if I ever did dual forms for the claw tips, I would do short ones. And instead of buying more claw tips, I'm just going to DIY them. So essentially, I'm going to do them like I would any other full cover tip, and then I'm just going to shape them up from the underneath to try and get an ideal length, which I've already done, so I know that works. So I'm going to put these on real quick. Oh, what? Okay, fine. I guess I'll show you how I did my ring finger. I'm using polygel to do this, and I have stopped just guessing the ratio, to be honest with you. To get a better idea of it, because I struggle with my sidewalls. I say it, I don't know how many times, but I did before the method where I put some top coat on the side specifically so that the sidewall would always be there, but then it actually made it so that I couldn't press the tip to my nail and then have it form around the nail, so it was always kind of tight, or it was not completely on the nail because it had no give in the sidewalls. So what I do now is I press the tip up to my nail like this, see how I normally would do. And now I know that I have to have the absolute least amount by the cuticle, which is, okay, probably a given. I don't want to hear it. But then as I get further to the apex, I can add more. So what I want to do is I'm going to still focus the bulk of the polygel in the middle of the tip. That way I could just pull it up or down, whichever way I need the most of it. Something like that. And then I take my little polygel brush that I've honestly had for years because these things last for a long time. And also I don't do polygel that much anymore. When I first stopped doing acrylic, I switched over to polygel. And then very quickly after that, I was tired of the nail forms. So I just switched over to half tips and then started experimenting with full cover tips. So this polygel is probably a little over 3 years old. I got it as a gift, actually, from one of my most beloved people in the world. So it's something like this. Once I get it to, because I'm not doing the full length of the tips, I'm going to file it down to make it a lot shorter. I also noticed that, like before, I didn't flip the tip upside down and see where these like clear spots were. Can you see that? I have like, and this matters. I think this last half of the year is gonna be my redemption arc with dual forms. So I tried it a couple times and then I was fed up with it and I stopped. So I'm just gonna actually use all the tricks. What I'm doing now is I'm pulling down the cuticle area and I'm making it the thinnest part of the nail. And I'm just smoothing out, oops, I have a bad grip. I'm just smoothing out the inside area. And whenever I put it on my nail, I'm only going to cure the cuticle area. So now I'm going to put it on my finger and press down. Then I'm going to swipe any polygel that might have come out the side. Then I'm going to take my flash cure lamp, my little gooseneck one from Macart, and I'm only going to cure the cuticle area. That way, it's on my nail, but not completely cured all the way through, because if you can see now, it's bunched up on my finger, which is just, it feels genuinely unavoidable, which is why I don't like using polygel, because I don't want any gel on me at any point at any time. But now I get to just pull it forward and make it just flush with my natural nail beneath. And then I'll just pull it all the way up. I'm not gonna be too choosy with the end of the tip because I'm, again, cutting it off. It feels kind of impossible to have the underside of polygel look pretty because, I mean, look at that. So, but I'm still gonna top coat the underneath of it because I don't want anything to get stuck in there either. So I'm just gonna go in with my glitter top coat from Beetles and do just a generous layer. Honestly, I'm also trying to fill in the divot that I made because while I will be, you know, filing this down, I also don't want things to get like stuck in here because it's a pretty extreme dip that I made. I think normally I actually, you know what, I actually have not seen the underside of anyone else's claw forms whenever they do these dual forms. So I don't know if they're filling it up all the way, but I am not. I'm making it hollow. But I think I'll just like it better if they're not completely a dip. I'm going to go ahead and clean these up and then I'll be right back. Actually, while we're here, it's come to my attention that I've been uploading on and off for a year and have just started posting every week. So y'all don't really know me because I haven't introduced myself. And I actually kind of realized this when a very sweet creator asked to share me with her audience, and it was such a kind gesture. I said yes, of course. And this is when I realized, which this is very funny to me because I never have this problem until people see my nails. And I also refuse to get my hair cut because I want to grow it out long so I can do an undercut and have a big, sick man bun. So I'm not offended or anything. I love women. I was raised by women. Y'all are chill and I love that. So I'm actually flattered, if anything, but hi, you can call me Beebus or BB. These are two of my favorite nicknames. My audience so far is only women, so I hope I don't disappoint y'all when I say I am a man. Sorry. I had one bad experience in a salon my sisters took me to when I was a tween. I wanted a blue sky with a wolf silhouette, and the techs there acted like they'd rather snort acrylic than do it. They passed me around, didn't tell me what we were doing, and I felt very unwelcome and like I was very bothersome. The design peeled off the same night, by the way, and it wasn't good. It was a waste of money and everyone's time, and ever since I've done my own salon. Oh, I don't do my own salons. I do my own nails. I don't go to salons ever at any point. I don't like other people touching my nails, messing with my hands, because I think personally that the sexiest self-care that you can do is take care of your hands. You know, the weapon tool that you use to interact with the world. Well, primarily the main tool you use to interact with the world. I realize some people don't have hands, okay? But we're not talking about that specifically. Sorry, you know what? The bean soup has been on my mind so much lately. I feel like I have to keep making like exceptions or like I don't have to. I bet no one was even thinking that. Anyways, I love horror. I don't know why I said that so weird. I love horror of the paranormal variety. I hate human gore. I do not like Saw or Final Destination, any of the spin-offs. I mean, okay, there are exceptions, but not a lot. I love the paranormal community specifically, and although I am not a believer, I'm also not entirely a skeptic. I have so many opinions about the paranormal and paranormal content creators in general, especially paranormal content creators in general. I think most of them are scumbags, especially the ones that swear up and down on the people important in their life that they are genuine content creators, and then they go and purposely deceive and create fake content. I have many opinions. I debated making a video on this because the experiences people have regarding the paranormal can be so very personal, but I've decided that I will very soon because I'm very passionate about people and the paranormal community, and it is a very big part of my life. So I gotta do it. It's like not most, but a lot of who I am and a lot of what I spend my time on. I'm a huge gamer. I collect crystals and I like K-pop because it cured my brain rot. Other than that, if you have any questions, topics, or nail art you want to see done, comment it, but be aware, all comments are susceptible to being yoinked for a video. I do read every single one. You're not slick. I see you jumping around the videos. You're very cute. I don't know if I'm gonna include it in this video yet, but I was going to do initially a white to gray ombre with some silver sparkles at the end, but I ended up not liking that for some reason. So I just decided to do the opposite of this hand, which would be red. In my book, I don't know color theory, so anyways. But I didn't like it, so I did red instead. But now I didn't want to file it off because it would have messed with the shape of this, and I wanted it to be as smooth as possible. So aside from that little blip in the beginning, I think I'm going to go around and do a frame. And if I like it and I think that it would look better, I'm going to then make it into like one of those cathedral stained glass windows with the frame designs. So I'm going to do that real quick. I literally have to keep reminding myself because this is plain for me. This is like, it's not boring because it's still visually interesting, but I keep having to like remind myself that this is what I wanted. I wanted simple, plain nails. This is what I wanted. I want this. Because every time I do a big design, the next nail set, I feel has to be more low key. Otherwise, I'll just feel so overstimulated and done with it that I won't like enjoy it properly. So I'm like at that point right now where it's like, this isn't usually like where I would stop with nails. I would do some sculpting on top or add some rhinestones, which, I still might do some rhinestones actually. I was thinking about, because I have a red gem on these nails, so I would do a blue gem on 2 of these just to give it some cohesion. Although they aren't supposed to be matching sets, I just thought it would be a cute little tie-in for it. But I keep thinking about that comment of the mom in my comments. She's talking about how she did these nails after she took her kids out to the bus stop. Like to school or something. Oh, I hope I read that right. I'll put it in here. It was so sweet, honestly. I love comments like these because I don't think that I'm ever like putting pressure on myself to do nails. But then like, what is it called whenever you do your nails and then you're disappointed with how they come out because they're not what you wanted or not like up to your standard? That's called putting pressure on yourself. Like, I don't know why I never considered it pressure. I guess it's because it's me and I just normally do that. So I don't really consider pressure to be pressure. And so it's like, but if it's not pressure, why are you getting frustrated, huh? Who are you performing for? Okay, I actually do like that frame quite a bit. So I think I'm going to attempt one of the cathedral. I'm gonna attempt one of the cathedral windows onto this nail. And I wanted to say that I don't typically enjoy. Well, okay, I enjoy doing these nails quite a bit, but I don't typically do them because I'm very used to sculpting on the nail. I'm used to having a flat, long surface to do whatever I want to do on. So the fact that this is curved and it has two flat sides, so if I wanted to sculpt, I'd have to do it at the near the cuticle area or just like deal with it being thick. I haven't come to terms with having like thick, aside from this is like purposeful thick, but whenever you're sculpting on top of something, especially long nails, at least for me, I don't like when they're thick, you know? I know like there's necessary added bulk that comes along with sculpting on top of nails, but it's usually fine whenever the surface is very flat and not curved like this, but that's why I have I think I'm actually, this might be a mistake. I think I'm shaking too much for this to look good. You know what I'm trying to say? You know, I'm used to thin flat surfaces that I then bulk up, but whenever it's already bulked up and I add even more bulk to it, it's hard to see the vision or to like keep it looking nice. Which is why I always struggle with these nails, because I want to sculpt, but I'm not trying to sculpt now. I gotta like reel myself in. I'm like, but this would look cute with it probably would, but that's not what you wanted, all right? That's not what you wanted. You don't want it. You were just psyching yourself out because it looks a little plain. So just chill, do the nail art that you set out to do. And once we finish it, we can come back and revise. But until then, you gotta chill out. I actually, hold on, let me look up a cathedral window reference. I feel like I've never seen a stained glass window before. Okay, so I'll just do little thingies here. Okay, I ended up changing up how the nails, how the lines looked, and I think I like this much better. It's a simple little thing to add, but I feel like it adds so much more to the nail, so I am going to do it for every single nail. So and these are the nails done. I definitely prefer I definitely prefer the long claw nails to be much shorter like this compared to like the original length. Although I do love me some long stiletto nails, I don't enjoy poking holes in my hands with them, which I got myself quite good on my thumb, which was low-key kind of shocking. So I did bulk up the tips of these nails so that they wouldn't be as sharp, but it does look kind of ridiculous, I won't lie. But you know, it still holds up, still has that iconic shape and from the side and from the top view, so I'm okay with it. Anyways, feels really weird to not have, you know, sculpted anything on top of them, but you know, it's good. I just needed a set on my left hand that wasn't so bulky and insane. I just need after a big set, I just gotta reset, you know, get that smooth feeling once again in this hand, and then I'm gonna do something crazy next week, because that's always how it goes. That's always how it goes, you know, you gotta go one extreme to the other. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, like if you're into that sort of thing. I know that I am. We listen and we judge here. Take care, you know, have a good day, night, wherever you are, whenever you are, and I will see you in the next one.